the year after I graduated from Cornell, I stayed in Cornell, and I was dating a woman whose father was actually a klezmer clarinetist in Philadelphia, named Marty Millicent. He had a band named Klezmer. So through my girlfriend was his daughter Martha, and so Martha started feeding me some tapes of like the Klezmer Conservatory Band and Capella, and I played a gig with her father, and so I had to learn how to get all this stuff together. There was also, my mother was getting involved with the Klezmer band in Rochester, called it was sort of the predecessor to a band that was around for a while called the 12 Corners Klezmer Band, which was, 12 Corners was led by clarinetist by Rob Mendel. And previous to that, it was sort of more of a community-based band. And so my mother was getting involved with that. My mother, grew up as a dancer. She was trained in modern dance and was very involved in community theater, doing acting in and then even choreographing and directing shows at our local JCC. I mean, those were nice, pretty good semi-professional productions and things like that. So she got involved with this Klezmer band, so that was happening at the same time. And then in the mid-90s, that's when Itzhak Perlman got involved with Klezmer. So I heard, that's when In the Fiddler's House came out on PBS. I think it was 1995. And that was interesting because it was really putting the violin out as sort of the lead instrument rather than, prior to that, all the music I was hearing from Klezmer, like Klezmer, especially like Klezmer Conservatory Band, it was really clarinet-driven music, or it tended to take a lot of these more jazzy influences. And, Klezmer Conservatory Band was doing a whole range of things, but that's sort of what I most remember was more of their jazz-oriented stuff, which it sort of didn't fit with my string music aesthetic. And but with Perlman, it was really, he was putting the violin out in the front. So that was something I could really relate to a lot more easily. I also at that time started hearing Andy Statman's music, a wonderful clarinetist, but also mandolin player. And so the mandolin kind of resonated with a lot of the American music, and Irish music that I was playing. So there was, a few different things that were coming together. And then on Andy's first album, the famous Jewish klezmer music album of 1978, 79 on Shanachie, where he's playing with Zev Feldman and Zev's playing tsimbl. And when I heard that, I was like, wow, there's something there. I knew about tsimbl from, because I had read a little bit in like Henry Sapoznik's writing on complete klezmer, things like that there was this instrument, a hammer dulcimer. So that was sort of a sound that was very interesting to me from these other musics, was the sound of a fiddle together with a dulcimer. Something about those timbres, the violin, the legato of a violin with the pluckiness of, either a banjo or a hammer dulcimer. And so I knew there was something out there in klezmer, but I didn't really hear it until I heard that album with Zev and Andy. And also Kurt Bjorling was playing with Itzhak Perlman. Kurt, who's a magnificent clarinetist, was playing tsimbl on those performances, those concerts and albums and things like that. So I got really excited about this thing that's tsimbl. What's that? This hammer dulcimer. And what happened soon after was there was a few things that happened. I went to Klez Camp for the first time, I think in 1995. And right at that time, Alicia Spiegels from the Klezmatics was making a solo album called Fiedel. And on it, she featured Josh Horowitz, who was a wonderful tsimbl player. So I remember at that Klez Camp, my first Klez Camp, they were playing together, kind of rehearsing for this album. And I heard this stuff, and I remember they were in a hallway or something, the two of them, and sort of a little crowd gathered around. And I just watched Josh play the tsimbl for just hours. I mean, I was just with my mouth sort of gaping wide open. It was just like the most incredible thing I had ever heard. It was just like, it was one of those another one of those moments where just like all these things sort of clicked and came together in a way that, I didn't know all these disparate influences could could come together like that. And so I got, I sort of caught the bug, and it fed my obsessive personality.